Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We're going to continue our look at Mid-South Wrestling, and this is episode 296. And for those of you who say, where is 295? I'd like to know, too, because I could not find 295 anywhere. So there must be something on it that somebody doesn't want us to see. So, Rodney, let's go ahead, look at 296.
Well, it's certainly not the Snowman because he's on this one. Anyway, so it's episode 296. It originally aired on May the 9th, 1985. We opened the program with Boyd Pearson, Bill Watts, and a whole lot of things have been going on. Of course, the week before apparently interrupted the show for a special report involving I guess, historic event where General Skandar Akbar burns Jim Duggan at the Mississippi Coliseum in Jackson, Mississippi. This was huge, and we had even death threats on Akbar during this time. And of course, it was a big, huge. Of course, I had a big interview later on in the show where the side of his face was shaved and it was kind of pink. Supposedly damaged the eye of Jim Duggan. Also, during the same part of the opening of the program, I have new Mid-South Tag Team Champions. The Rock and Roll Express was defeated by Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. Death Williams in Houston. Of course, they reshowed that match. And, of course, DiBiase, during that match in Houston, didn't have the glove on until the end. Of course, then he pulls the gloves. He hits Robert, and then they become the new Mid-South Tag Team Champions, which leads up to what's going to be coming up very shortly. The big turn with Jake Roberts, and already people like it anyway. Also, Watts says in this program that Akbar and Kamala's contracts have been suspended. Not sure what that meant because I believe they all wrestled during that time, but we will follow up on that shortly. Match number one is Dirty White Boy versus the Rock and Roll Express. Dutch Mantell once again at ringside. And in that match, the Dirty White Boys try to double up and try to pull one on the Rock and Roll Express. They pull one of the straps off the boots, try to clothesline Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton goes up and knocks the Dirty White Boys together. Then it's the double drop kick on Tony Anthony, and the Rock and Roll Express win. Of course, the Rock and Roll Express was told during the interview with DiBiase and Williams that if they didn't win, they would go back down to the bottom. So now they are the number one contenders, or still the number one contenders for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. Semi-final match for the Mid-South Television Tournament. It's Steve Dr. Death Williams against newcomer. All of a sudden, he's already in the advanced stages, I guess, of the tournament. Not sure how he got there, but the Snowman appears on the program. He ends up winning this match as he did a power slam on on Steve Williams. Looked a lot like the Thump, by the way. That was the Snowman winning in that one. The Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes and Buddy Roberts, returned to Mid-South to face Brad Armstrong and Mike Jackson. Just tremendous match. Hayes and Roberts, Brad just really did a great job. In the end, it's Michael Hayes running Mike Jackson into Buddy's head as he on the ring apron, and then Hayes with the Bulldog. Honestly, the Freebirds should not have been in this position. They should have been on the other side, in fact, against Steve Williams and DiBiase at this point, because the people were behind them 100%. Let's just be honest. Match number 4, Jake Roberts against Mark Reagan, returning Mark Reagan. Dutch Mantell again at ringside. It's the DDT with Jake Roberts winning in that one. Ted DiBiase and Steve Dr. Death Williams, the new Mid-South Tag Team Champions, against Scott Casey and Kent Glover. Watts, during this particular match, decides that he's going to call out Hulk Hogan for steroid use. I don't know if you all caught that or not, but he took the opportunity during the match to talk about that. In the end, it's the team of Williams and DiBiase winning as DiBiase gets Kent Glover in the figure 4. Then we have a video of Jim Duggan. And then, of course, the close is the finals. I'm assuming the finals of the Mid-South Television Tournament. Snowman and Jake Roberts and a whole bunch more for that. And I think that ends anyway. I think I left out an interview with Jim Ross and Jim Duggan, which I think I did explain that his face was, shaved to one side.
Okay. Jack, what do you think about the show?
I thought it was good. I liked the way that they did the whole Jim Duggan thing, especially with shaving half his beard off, because you're not used to seeing him without a beard. I just thought that was very well done. He wasn't doing that kind of interview where I'm coming back or whatever. He's hurt, and he's selling that. and he's putting, oh, hey, my career might be over with. I thought that was done very, very well. And then, of course, you were right, Freebirds. Yeah, those fans were cheering from them from the time that music hit until that match was over. And now they loved Brad Armstrong too. He got a strong response from him. But there was no way that the Freebirds should have been heel at this time.
No.
But it was a good show.
It was a good show.
And I'll tell you, it was forced on the people, and the fans of Mid-South never bought them that way. Never. Not
I'll be honest
not
with you, they didn't buy Jake Roberts.
No.
He should have. It shouldn't have took long before they turned him, because man,
Jake Roberts in this match showed you how great he was. Because I can't remember the guy's name now. You
Mark Reagan.
Okay, wasn't that great? Let's just be honest.
He was the thriller.
Jake Roberts made him look so good in this match, so much better than what he really was, and that is the sign of a real master.
Yeah, that show was good. And it is going to get better. By this time, there was a booking committee. The booking committee had Grizzly Smith. It had Dutch Mantell, Bill Dundee, Ronnie West, and they were one other person, Bill Dundee. I guess Bill Dundee was in there as well. So they would have to meet every other week, I think, I think it was in Oklahoma, and come through and figure out what they're going to do during this time. And you're talking about a lot of guys that they kind of knew what they were doing. They had a lot of experience. So the show.
My question is, that just puzzles me. I cannot fathom why Watts decided during matches to decide to knock Hulk Hogan during that match. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I don't know. Was Hercules Hernandez still there at this time? Because I'm sure if he was in the dressing room going.
No, he was already he was already gone. And I understand he was talking about the different world champions and that Mid-South was going to recognize Ric Flair. But again, you need to recognize the one champion that you have and not acknowledge any of the others. Just to me, I couldn't. I'm sure he had his reasons, and I will not. He lived in the big house. I didn't. So I can't say much about it, but it doesn't compute in my brain of why he would do that on his own show.
Snowman made no sense to me either. Why would they have him do the thump?
Well, you know why. He was still got in his mind he's going to replace JYD. He just won't let that go.
No, you're right. And this is another one that blows her up right in their face.
Yep.
Yeah.
And except Dutch had a really good time with that chair. We get to see that coming up.
Very good, by the way, and a lot of stuff to talk about. I believe Brickhouse Brown is gone.
Looks like it, yeah.
Well, they did. Now, Bill did talk about Brad Armstrong teaming with Brickhouse Brown on this, and thinking about what a great match it would have been against the Freebirds. He did mention that during the match with the Freebirds.
But I believe what he had in store for Brickhouse Brown got moved over to the Snowman, though.
Think so.
Because eventually, Muhammad Ali comes to Mid-South Wrestling. And I believe Brickhouse Brown was supposed to be the one that did that, because Bududi Brown, something like that, I can't remember how you say his name. Yes. He was going to be there, and he got there first, and then he was the one bringing in Muhammad Ali, and that was done with the Snowman and Dutch Mantell. So poor old Brickhouse Brown got pushed to the side for the Snowman, and Brickhouse Brown would have been a whole lot better than the Snowman.
Snowman was, we go back and watch him again, wasn't as bad as I remember. Yeah. It's just that they're doing the Junkyard Dog thing, which we always said even back then, and that is DOA.
I was surprised he didn't have a chain with him. And
well, I mean, it's only a matter of time. Later on, his main thing would have been a chair.
Maybe
I cannot wait till we get to that.
Maybe they could call him Junkyard Dog Jr. Maybe that's what they should call him when they came in. All right, folks, we will continue our look at Mid-South Wrestling. And as we get into these, we're going to get into more commentary, by the way. A lot more commentary when we get into the further into this because it becomes very good. Some great stuff goes on with Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Dick Murdoch. The Lord Humongous are there. Just Humongous is on his way as well, and some good stuff. Good stuff is coming up on Mid-South Wrestling. If you enjoyed this show, give us the big thumbs up. Subscribe to the page. You haven't already. Go one step further. Hit that notification bell and share the video. Until the next video on Pro Wrestling Inside Out, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.